Hi, welcome to Rude the Reformer, where I do my best to encourage discussion of replacing the terribly performing two-party system. It's more than that. It's divided the country. It's come between friends and relatives. So let's discuss finding a better way. Let's go back to the Constitution, where political parties were not a part of the plan. But you probably didn't know that, because it seemed like the two-party system was the American form of government. That's why Art Rude wrote this book, Political Cocaine: How America Got Hooked on the Two-Party System and How to Intervene. Just Google Political Cocaine by Art Rude, and it should come right up. I highly recommend the ebook, and now it's available in audiobook as well. The whole point is to try to encourage discussion of finding a better way. So I hope you'll choose to join that discussion. In the last episode, he talked about 100%. Does that ever happen? Very seldom. In the real world. But in the political world, it's assumed that everybody is 100% on board. You see, the political parties don't want independent thinkers. They want people to accept their portion of the truth and jump on board and do what you can to destroy that evil other side, regardless of which side you're on. So I wanted to illustrate a little bit. In the last 3 years, I've been basically all over the country. I've marked some of the spots on here and one return trip on this old map, because the states haven't changed, but people's attitudes have. And when I travel around, I spend a lot of time listening to what people are talking about. And every once in a while, when I have the opportunity, I'll ask a question, commonly about one of the polarized issues. And here's my point. If I get exactly the same answer here, or here, or here, or here, is that really the opinion of those people? The answer is no, I believe. It means that you have accepted what was sent from the elite in your chosen party. Doesn't make any difference which one. Each political party is making decisions of what's important about each issue, and then they sell it to you. And unfortunately, most people buy. But I would like to encourage you to think for yourself. If we are confined to only two types of opinions, how free are we? Yes, I understand that if you are a party person, you endorse that party and it's marvelous. But what is really true if we get exactly the same response any place in the country? Is that really the opinion of those people? Or is it simply great indoctrination? To me, the answer is obvious. It's indoctrination. And you know what the most effective form of indoctrination is? When the one who has been indoctrinated, who has drank the Kool-Aid, so to speak, doesn't realize they've been indoctrinated. They think those opinions are really their own. And I'd like you to question that. Is it really your own? Let's talk about reform. Let's talk about changing attitudes. Let's talk about you thinking for yourself. I know so many people avoid politics, and they're going to avoid my little presentation as much as anybody else because they're so fed up with the anger, with the intolerance, and that's what both political parties have done to our society. They've made us intolerant of other people's opinion. You either agree 100% or you're the enemy. Is that really what America was meant to be? We, the people, in order to form a more perfect union. That's the purpose of our Constitution. And the Constitution made no provision for political parties. In fact, in the research for this book, there's background information in here that I discovered that the founders distrusted and hated political parties. They considered them evil. And George Washington, John Adams, the first two presidents, very sternly warned against the formation of political parties. Yet, the political parties would have you believe we've always been a two-party system. You've been lied to. The founders didn't want them. And so I included the information that I discovered in here. In fact, over 85% of the books sold in the colonies at the time of the Revolution and at the time of the Constitutional Convention were anti-party authors. The vast majority of people hated political parties, and many of them blamed the political parties in England for the need for the revolution in the first place. But have you heard that before? Probably not. Because those who support the political parties don't want you to know that they have no constitutional authority. They don't want you to realize that you've been indoctrinated. The last thing political parties want is independent thinkers, voters who think for themselves. They want you to just accept what's sent from above and jump on the bandwagon, because that's what political parties do. They limit your possibilities to two narrow points of view. I don't want you to go one way or the other. I want you to forget about those 2 points of view and decide for yourself. Remember when it was okay to vote for this Democrat and this Republican because you thought they were good people? Those days are gone for most. For the politically addicted to the political cocaine. And if you don't understand that, I'll try to explain it to you, but it's in the book. So I certainly hope you will read it. But in the meantime, I'm going to drop by and try to encourage you to think for yourself. Wouldn't it be great if you could actually choose somebody because you thought they were a good person, instead of having to choose a political party? And if you didn't choose everybody for that political party, you were the enemy. If we don't agree 100% with the party platform, with the party directives that are coming to us through the national media, and that means all of them, the right wing, the left wing, the whole dang bird, wherever you get your information, remember, decisions have been made. There are editors. There are people who are program directors. They decide what's going to be on the air. Maybe it'd be better if you thought for yourself. I think so. And so that's what I'm trying to encourage. I don't want your vote, but that's what the political parties want. They don't want you to think of anything on your own or to recognize some of the problems in the information that's sent us from above. And the ironic thing is some of it isn't sent from above. It's sent from our enemies. It's been proven that many of the posts on social media come from the Russians as well as other enemies. Iran is another one that's been proven to put out these posts. And what happens is, for those that are fully indoctrinated into either political party, those who have drank the Kool-Aid, so to speak, for either the Democrats or the Republicans, they can only see that point of view and the other side as the enemy. I got news for you. The people in that other trench, most of them don't feel they have an option. They've been convinced that the other trench is evil, and therefore that evil must be opposed at all costs. In reality, both political parties are evil. In my opinion, and in the opinion of the people who founded this country. Remember, the purpose of our Constitution says very plainly, we, the people, in order to form a more perfect union. Just ask yourself, what have the political parties done to the more perfect union the Constitution was written to protect? The answer is, I think, quite obvious. We have become a divided nation. So I hope you will choose to join the discussion. I hope you will choose to think for yourself and not just rapidly accept everything that comes to you, whether it be through the mainstream media or for sure through the internet. It's proven that many of these things are sent by our enemies to divide us. So why don't you check out where it really comes from? Personally, I wish that the CIA, FBI, Homeland Security, all of those agencies would put out some of these posts that they've found on Facebook or other media outlets, other internet outlets, that have been proven to come directly from the United States of America's enemies. And yet, with the political fervor of the true believers, those who have been fully indoctrinated, who have drunk the Kool-Aid, the only enemy is the other party, the other citizens who don't agree 100% with me. It's sad what the political parties have done to the freedom American citizens were meant to have. I hope I've given you a little something to think about this morning. And I hope that you will consider leaving the shackles, leaving the slavery to party behind you, and start thinking for yourself. I think that's what every American should have available to them. To me, that's the idea of America. Freedom of expression, freedom of thought, freedom of speech, freedom of religion. And where have those gone? Well, for the most part, if you don't agree with somebody 100%, you become their enemy. Let's have a discussion about how to change that. That's the whole point. I hope you have a tremendous day today. I hope you can have a real discussion with somebody. about how to end the angry arguments, about how to end the domination of the two corrupt parties and get back to government of the people, by the people, and for the people, instead of today's system that's of the money, by the money, and for the money. So have a great day today. Remember that every day is a gift. That's why they call it the present. And I hope that you can subscribe to my channel and you can recommend this channel to others so we can get more people involved in the discussion. Let's see if we can't get rid of this terrible two-party system that's dividing the country and find a way to make the Constitution what we look at ahead of party. Have a great day. Every day's a gift. That's why they call it the present. Enjoy your present today.